Hello and welcome to the Myvi OS desktop. Let's take a look around. Starting in the top right side, you can find a drop-down menu where you can switch your sound sources as well as your microphone inputs. Just below that is your Wi-Fi settings. You can connect now if you haven't done so already. Under that is your mobile devices. Here's where you'll pair with Myvi Unity. That will give you a whole bunch of functionality. We'll go through that a little bit later. And below that is your Bluetooth settings where you can pair other peripherals. And your main settings can be found here as well too. Just below that, you'll find your lock button as well as your power off menu where you can power off and restart the computer. Now there's two ways to see all of your apps. On the bottom left side, if we select this button that says show all applications, we can see all of the apps installed on the system right now. If you'd like to add an application to the favorites menu, you can right click on it and select add to favorites. You'll see it shows up the bottom there. If you right click on that, you can then remove that from favorites. Another way to see all the apps installed on the system is the menu in the top left side that says applications. This is a list style menu. It shows you all the applications, and the favorites menu here will match the favorites menu at the bottom. In the middle at the top panel, if you click on the time, you'll see a drop down menu that will show you notifications as well as a do not disturb button, the calendar, and the weather at the bottom right side. When you select that, you can put in your location and that will update your weather there. On the top left side, these buttons here bring you into the overview. There's a lot of settings and functionality within the overview. This program you're seeing here is our screen capture software that's running right now. This is how we're recording, and we'll show you that a little bit later. Another way to access the overview is by simply moving your mouse to the top left side of the screen. You can see a little graphic shows you that you are hitting the hot corner there, and that will bring you into the overview. If you're using the keyboard, you can hit the super key, then that will also bring you into the overview. Now, once you're in the overview, you can search for applications and of course launch them from there. If you do have a few different programs open, like let's open up our file manager, let's open up OnlyOffice. If we go into the overview, this will show us all the programs we have running currently, and we can easily switch between those applications. You can also click and drag them into multiple workspaces on the right side. And as you can see, there are intuitive workspaces. So as you click and drag programs down into a new workspace, an additional one will get opened at the bottom. And if you bring programs back, it will actually close any additional workspaces for you, bringing everything back into the first desktop. Now there's a couple more features we're going to go through right here on the desktop. Let's open up our software center. So we now have 3 programs open. So as you can see, we have 3 applications running at the moment. Now these are in floating mode. However, if you'd like to automatically tile them, select the menu in the top right side where you'll see these 3 application windows and select tile windows. They will all automatically take up the entire screen. And if you move and resize the windows, the other applications will automatically adjust. You can even click and drag a program and see a orange colored preview that shows you where that application is going to go. So if we bring it to the bottom right side, now this application takes the bottom right and the other ones automatically resize. Another nice feature in this is that if you hold a program right over the middle of another app, you'll see it puts them into a tabbed view. And these programs will now be tabbed while the right side program is going to be still in the auto tiling feature. And if we grab just the top of the application, we can pull it right back out, and that will no longer be in the tabbed view and back into the traditional tiling view. Now that's just a brief look at the tiling. There are a lot more features we'll explore further in the productivity section. So let's go ahead and switch our tiling back off. And that puts us right back into floating window mode, as you can see. And let's close out of everything now. Now, slightly to the left of the tiling menu, you'll see this little coffee cup. A very simple but very useful feature. When you select the coffee cup, you'll see steam comes out of the coffee cup. What that does is disable the screen from going blank. So if you're in a hard work mode and you don't want the screen to turn off on you, you can select Caffeine and that will keep the screen on the entire time. Once you're done, you can switch it off. Caffeine will also automatically enable if you're in a full screen video. And when you do go into a full screen video, if the system's night mode is on, what that does is essentially changes the color temperature into a more orange eye comfort level mode. And this will disable that eye comfort mode when you go into a full screen video or game. Let's open up our file manager now and take a look at the few features inside of our file manager. Now, of course, we have our main documents, downloads, music, pictures, all those types of standard folders. If we select the drop-down menu, we do have an option to open up multiple tabs. So if you're going to be clicking and dragging a whole bunch of files into a video project, for example, you can actually have multiple tabs open there and click and drag everything into your program. Another very useful feature is the preview window. So if you go into our downloads, you can see we have a PDF file here, a document here, a picture, and a video. What if we'd like to preview these files without actually opening the programs that they require? Simply select a file and hit the space bar. This will open up a preview window that will show you the contents of this file. And if we select with our arrows, this is a document here. It's going to load up in just a second. So you can see the document shows up, exactly what's in the document. If you go into our picture, this is now a PNG image. Here's another picture, and here's a video. Once you're ready and you found the file that you want, just hit the spacebar again. You'll see that that file is now highlighted, and you can go ahead and copy and paste it somewhere else if you like. Another item I'd like to show you is the file transfer location. So let's go ahead and pop in a USB. So let's go into one of our folders here and take a file a little bit larger here. We're going to copy that, bring it over into our videos folder and paste it here. As you can see, a little pie chart shows up in the top right side. If you select the pie chart, that'll show you the status of the transfer. If you hit it again, that'll put it back hidden. And the nice thing about this is it doesn't pop up a new window in front of your workspace. It just shows a nice clean pie chart on the top right side. Now, here's where you can get access to your cloud accounts. So firstly, let's open up Google Chrome. It's going to ask you if you'd like to send usage data. You could go ahead and unselect that if you don't want that. Hit OK. Now, once you're in Chrome, you'll want to select this menu right here. Already a Chrome user? Sign in. Some users like to go here and add a new profile. You don't want to do that because if you add a new profile, you'll end up with two profiles on the system. And the main profile does have some configurations and custom settings we've inputted, as well as access to all the web applications. So you'll want to use the main profile. To do so, just select sign in, and this will give you the menu to sign into your main profile there. Now, if for some reason you forgot to sign in and you ended up closing Chrome, that's okay. Just open it again. You're not going to see that splash screen. However, if you select this little profile here, just select turn on sync. Again, don't go to add new profile, just select turn on sync, sign in, and that will be signed into profile 1. You can also disable sync in the Google settings if you want to later, just by selecting this button right here, and I'll give you the option to disable sync. Once you're signed into your Google account, you'll see these little icons right here. Click on that, go into Google Drive, and actually if you'd like to save Google Drive onto your applications drawer, you certainly can. Now that you're in your Google Drive, click on these three little dots in the top right side of Google Chrome. You'll go into More Tools, Create Shortcut, and select Open as Window. And now if we close out of everything, you'll see inside your applications drawer, you'll have a Google Drive icon. When you select that, you'll be directly inside of your Google Drive. And if you'd like to add that to your favorites, simply right click, select Add to Favorites. Now, as you can see, Google Drive has been added to our favorites. Of course, you can remove it from favorites as well. And I'll show you how to uninstall Google Drive. Remember, this is called a progressive web application. So any website can be turned into an app. There's no address bar at the top. If you'd like to uninstall a web application, again, select the three dots in the top right side and select Uninstall Google Drive, and this will remove it from your applications launcher. Now let's go ahead and switch our tiling back on. So our tiling window manager is enabled. Let's open up Office 365. Here's where you can sign into your Microsoft Office account and get access to all your OneDrive documents. Or if you're using iCloud, you can select iCloud, and just like that, you'll see access to sign into your iCloud account. Now there's another way to further integrate your Google Drive into the operating system. Select the menu at the top right side, go into Settings, and now if you go into Online Accounts, you can actually link your Google account or your Microsoft account directly into Myvi OS. What that'll do is it'll give you an option for your Google Drive documents directly into the file browser right here. So I'll show you that now. Now our desktop interface is known as the GNOME desktop. So you'll see this option that says GNOME wants to have access to everything here. Click Allow. And now it gives you the option to switch between all the toggles. So your mail, calendar, contacts, documents, photos, they can all show up there. If you look now into our file browser, we can see we now have our drive right here. So let's go back into the web application. We'll add a file and you'll see it pop up here. Okay, so we made this test document here. You can see I just wrote test document on there. And now after a few seconds of waiting, if you go into our files and click on right there, there's our test document. And if we double click that, that opens up a new tab in Google Drive. And that's it. That's integrating Google Drive directly into the operating system. But keep in mind that when you do select online accounts, you're not giving these services full access to the operating system. So if you're looking for the most privacy, we recommend you don't use this option because then Microsoft, Google will have full access to the operating system. And of course, to find out more information, always hit your Myvi key or select this Myvi icon to bring you straight to the Creators Hardware website and click on the Learn section. Okay, that's it for this clip. See you in the next section.